allowed the two
It's okay. It's okay. Off your mic. It's okay. Off your mic.
Chai! Now wow, people wey suppose talk truth to power don off mic. And if we talk, now 500,000 they go sama us, call them hate speech. But fear not, Maiyegun don't come. Him go torchlight every corner, nooks and cranny of all these bad people where they spoil our country. So my people make we laugh, yo. Maiyegun don't come, yo. My people make we shout, yo. Maiyegun don't come, yo. Maiyegun don't come, man of the masses, yo. Maiyegun don't come, yo. Maiyegun diary Politico, yo. Maiyegun don't come, yo. This one not the off in mind, Maiyegun don't come, yo. Can in the touchlight every corner, Maiyegun don't come, yo. Okay, some people be they holla say they want the power. Chai, them be promise us say we go get light and power. Them hustle sote they can't get the power. But now they know they do anything with the power. Every day, dollar just they get the higher power over naira. See them talk say make we off mind, but thank God say Maiyegun don't come. So my people make you loud, yo. Maiyegun don't come, yo. My people make we shout, yo. Maiyegun don't come, yo. Maiyegun don't come, man of the masses, yo. Maiyegun don't come, yo. Maiyegun diary Politico, yo. Maiyegun don't come, yo. This one not they off in mind, Maiyegun don't come, yo. Person where they do evil, no one make person talk. Them say that Maiyegun, that man too they talk. He too they talk. Say Maiyegun diary, he they hot like pepper. But every day then they take money in bulk. Woman picking, they the street they hawk. Still them talk say make we no talk. But thank God say Maiyegun don't come. So my people make you loud, yo. Maiyegun don't come, yo. My people make you shout, yo. Maiyegun don't come.
Hello there.
Maiyegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò.
Maiyegun diary, Maiyegun number one.
Maiyegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò.
Maiyegun diary, Maiyegun number one.
Maiyegun ti dé o, ọ̀rẹ́ ará ìlú.
Maiyegun diary, Maiyegun number one.
Good morning to you.
Lórí YouTube.
Good afternoon to you.
Maiyegun number one.
And good evening to you from wherever you are watching from.
Maiyegun number one.
Àṣírí ọjà.
This is Maiyegun Live.
Diary, Maiyegun number one.
Bó bá ṣe eré, àní Maiyegun máa wí.
Maiyegun diary, Maiyegun number one.
Ó sì tún ṣe eré, wàá gbọ́ níbẹ̀ o.
Maiyegun diary, Maiyegun number one.
Thank you so much for joining me from wherever you are watching from. Please, before we all settle into this, please share the broadcast. Invite your friends and invite your not so friendly friends and tell them that Maiyegun today, I am here.
Maiyegun diary, Maiyegun number one.
Àní Maiyegun làwa mọ̀ tó dòdòdò.
Maiyegun diary, Maiyegun number one.
Read the caption of the broadcast, the description.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ra kì í.
Maiyegun ti dé. Maiyegun ti dé.
Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ra kì í.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ra kì í.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Lórí Facebook.
APC, ẹgbẹ́kẹ́gbẹ́, be like, if a dog is mad, it will recognize the sight of fire. Tonight is going to be interesting. Share the broadcast.
Ijó ìgbádìyẹ. Ayé ìṣúra yìí. Presido bá rúfin o. Ayé ìṣúra yìí.
If you demand, they do your badness. So if you touch the tail of a hungry tiger, anything can happen. That's the Kano people.
Aṣòfin tí ń rúfin o. Ayé ìṣúra yìí. Òwúrọ̀ olóṣèlú. Ayé ìṣúra yìí.
And maybe good news to those of you who still want to rescue Nigeria. Atiku is ready to lead you in 2027. She what you ready?
Ayé ìṣúra yìí. Aṣòfin tí ń rúfin o.
Meanwhile, if you are in any trouble, who do you call first? A lawyer. What happens if your lawyer gets beaten up by the police simply because he's there to represent his client? So good morning to you once again, good afternoon to you, and good evening to you from wherever you are watching from. This is Maiyegun live. And if you have shared the broadcast, liked the broadcast, that means you have played the most essential part of your being here tonight or this hour. So thank you. And if you haven't, please do before you start getting engaging and all of, you know what I mean? Let us start from Kano. Today was the day chosen by the Supreme Court of Nigeria, where the injustices were to decide what is called the final, make the final decision on the 2023 charade. However, there has been some tension before today, especially in Kano. Just to give you the backstory, okay? So that somebody will not come and say, okay, so are you happy now? Does that mean that they have now done justice because they did not give it to APC? Shut up, please. Let me give people the backstory first, all right? In their charade, 2023 charade, the APC, Egbekegbe in Kano, was beaten blue-black by their own ally, ANPP, led by Kwakwanso. So, despite all the rigging, the influence, and all of that that characterized their charade 2023 elections, right? They could not announce the guy, which is the NNPP guy. So what did APC do? Same thing in Plateau State. It was like APC was in government there. People rejected them. So they went to court. When they went to court, they did not challenge the vote per se. They challenged how those guys got nominated. Remember, they left APC to PDP, then from PDP to NNPP, where it was actually like PDP, because they are Kwakwansias, with Kwakwansop as their leader. So from PDP, in fact, story has gone long. I think it was actually from APP to ANPP to PDP. No, it was actually PDP rather. Sorry, I was confusing you, yeah? I'm talking about their journey now, right? So it was like from PDP to APC to PDP, then to NNPP. So the same Kano, the same supporters. So meanwhile, meaning that they actually know themselves. So they went to court and APC, Egbekegbe, that lost the ballot, went to court to challenge the timing of them joining another party, meaning the time of their nomination to become members of that party. So because of this, they should be denied their victory. That was the challenge. This is what the challenge was all about. So the tribunal said, yes, you were not properly nominated. All of the evidence presented by the NNPP to the tribunal, they were rejected or never ruled on. Appeal court, the same thing. So people expected their Supreme Court to finish the job for them, make wahala come start. If you have not been following, I will understand though. You can easily just dismiss it. Baba, the tension in Kano was so high that the tribunal could not sit in their own courtroom. They had to do Zoom judgment. They cited safety. They were not sure they were going to be safe. And indeed, when they delivered their judgment, they said they agreed with APC that you did not get nominated properly by NNPP. So they went to appeal, which then was like Abuja, no longer in Kano. So appeal came and it was like, yes, you are not properly nominated. Meanwhile, in that same tribunal appeal, what do you call it? Supreme Court, their same judiciary has ruled that the political parties are the ones who are responsible for nominating their candidates. Anybody or however they nominated the person is not the business of another person. Sure you get? But that same tribunal was like, no, it's the business of the other people. So therefore, removed him. So they were expecting, and they were like already preparing, like, oh, more, forget it, wait, nothing go happen. Everybody go just scream, shout, do all of that, but still nothing. And it's true, like they believe nothing will happen. But some people now somehow said, in fact, the guy himself, the governor, came out to say Tifnumbu was under pressure. Can you believe that? To ensure that justice is not done. All of them are thanking Tifnumbu for not doing what is people would love him to do. Damn the consequences. So they are thanking, which means it is true that the whole thing was already permutated and done. And somebody said, well, Baba, sure you know that the same guy that is fingered in the leaked judgment of the Court of Appeal on Atiku Obi and all of that stuff, the same guy who represented Tifnumbu is the guy that represented the NNPP guy in Kano. That maybe is the guy that was like, listen, if you want my own opinion in this whole thing, this is not the kind one. It's like a time bomb. Maybe they listen to him. Like people have been saying things, why this or, But the bottom line is, their Supreme Court today now said, listen, it's none of your business. Okay? And on the issue of ballot paper, the ballot papers used in some local government areas, they were not properly stamped. Well, that also is not yours to determine. If the INEC counted them and blah, 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 blah. So they and everybody was like, or more. Something was averted today. It is not because they cannot move their soldiers out to suppress all of these people. I'm not saying they couldn't have done that, but as you are watching this broadcast tonight, it could have been a different story entirely. It's either we are talking about how many people they have killed now. You know why I believe that? It's because when I saw the reactions of the people, when I saw them from every part of Kano today with what I have gathered, and I'm going to share some of them with you tonight, I was like, these are the people that are going to be the victims of miscarriage of the same justice. Sure, you get. I was like, this would have been the victims. They would have been those who would be out and begin to, because they have always been out. Abuja is just too far. So they were like gathered, waiting in Kano. So it could have been a different story right now as you're watching this. We could have been talking about people being like short, skilled, like it could have been and that could have also triggered the same reactions in some other part of northern Nigeria just today. I know you can say, oh, but nothing will happen, Charade. I understand, since nothing is happening now. So you probably would never understand, okay? Because if indeed APC, Egbekegbe, was truly voted for in Kano, like it is today, you would have noticed probably like silence, you know, like no, everybody would just, it would have just been like, you know, or it could have been APC, Egbekegbe right now, causing riot because they're actually in the majority. But no, everybody just disappeared that way, and the real guys were on this. May I show you? Let's go to their court and see what happened there today in sequence as they happened. All right. So first, let's start from this would be like when they were arriving. Okay. Did you see the police running after a moving vehicle? I don't know why they didn't stay in their car, and then all of them will come out once all of these guys come out of their car. But it is just part of the whole thing. It is called the peak. It is called peak fooling. You know, peak fooling. That's how you see a policeman carrying handbags for the wives of the politicians. It's peak fooling. You know, even the wife of musicians and all of that stuff. Anyway, inside the courtroom, I'll show you that one. So that's the Kano guy, Abba, and others as well inside the courtroom. And but that first clip there was like after the judgment, so the other one should have come first. So pardon the mix-up. And immediately the judgment, it was for 8 states, by the way. That's the judgment delivered by their Supreme Court. So Sanwo-Iku of Lagos, they also said there is no case, what have you. So like confirmed as the governor, O2 of Cross River, Oti of Abia, Mutfangi of Plateau. There is this guy of Zamfara, I can't remember his name, right? Then this Yusuf of Kano, and then Bala Muhammad of Bauchi as well, right? So they all kind of got the clear pass. There was no really much threat like that of Kano and Plateau State. The guy from Plateau State, a lot of people said he couldn't really do what they expect him to do in the case of the Fulani terrorist, all right? Simply because he still has a case in the Supreme Court. And if you know the story of that of Plateau State, that one is even like interesting, all right? I'll come back to that. So this is the guy after the court, okay? That Yusuf guy talking about thanking Tifnumbu and talking about the pressure. We know the pressure on yeah? And then and on and on and on. So
also thank the President and Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, His Excellency Bola Ahmed Tinubu GCFL, as well as his Vice President, Kashim Shettima GCON, for their neutrality, not to be deterred, not to be involved in snatching the mandates of the good people of the state, despite all pressures from all corners. I want to assure the federal government under the leadership of His Excellency Bola Ahmed Tinubu that Abba Gida Gida, as the governor of Kano State, will continue to give maximum support to his administration so that collectively we continue delivering democracy, dividends of democracy to our people. Let me seize the opportunity also to thank our leader, Senator Rabi Musa Kwankwaso of all people, for his doggedness, for his support, and for his trust in us. I also wish to assure him that we will give him necessary support as a leader.
confusion. Allah sawaye daga confusion. Aka babu promotion. Wannan season ya zama end of. Down, gashi ana ta mitin, failing, ai saura confusion. Allah sawaye daga confusion. Aka babu promotion. Wannan season ya zama end of.
Oh, sorry. Man, I could probably sit there and even forget that I'm currently live. All right. Anyway, let's leave their courtroom and go straight to their streets. What's the reactions like? Finally, how do they feel? Yeah. Let's start with this. So someone said that was like this afternoon before the judgment was delivered. Just, the security guys trying to show some presence and, trying to warn everyone who might want to foment trouble, right? To think twice, kind of show of force, right? But after their judgment and all that, the streets again.
Muna gode wa Allah bisa wannan ni'ima da ya bamu. Mun san da mun inda zalunci yake yana zuwa ƙarshe. Ubangiji Allah ya tabbatar wa da Abba Kabiru Yusuf kujerarsa. Allah ya bashi ikon yin abin da ya dace. Muna godiya.
Allah ya tabbata Kano. Ko ana so ko ba a so.
And just so you know, as you are happy for them, did you see the children with bows in that crowd? I'm sorry to probably break your heart. More than 90% of those children, they are the Almajiris that we talk about. Almajiri children that we talk about all the time. Oh, Almajiri. Did you see that number? They are not in school, so do you understand? They are on the street begging, growing up on that streets. And most of the times, the terrorists in Nigeria recruits them. And you see, in Kano alone, there is over 4 million out of school children, Almajiri children, in Kano alone. So I just thought you should know that, in case if, like, you didn't know. And every state in northern Nigeria, they have that humongous number. Unfortunately, that contagion, that pandemic has spread all over Nigeria as we speak. And if you don't believe it, you can please Google it. Lagos alone has over 3 million out of school children. Can you even believe that? Lagos alone, according to their record, 3 million out of school children who are on the streets. Either just like begging, selling, like hawking, or slaving in different capacities. It's a menace. And they are victims of a rigged system that stole their future, stole everything from them, and thrown them out there. Just so you know. Let's go back to the streets. The Kano streets and their reactions. Like happy everywhere, like, even in the inner street as well. Check this one out. Here is another one. Just, in fact, maybe we should just leave it at that. That's enough, right? It's all coming from Kano, where the victim of bad governance, poor education, poor healthcare system, majority of them, no real, there's no real training of anything, of any kind per se, other than just to heck a living through whatever means from that childhood until the adults and all that. And the likes of politicians in that northern Nigeria, they bank on them, they feed them. You get what I mean? And sometimes they actually like give few of them like that, like, okay, let's give this one scholarship and that one scholarships that we can use them as poster, the poster children to the rest of the world, and to further convince others and say, look at you, you remember Aliyu, you remember Abu, you remember this, you remember that, you remember that he was also Almajiri, and if not, today is a graduate. Thank God for Atiku, thank God for Kwakwanso, thank God for this, thank God for that. They do that a lot. But when you look at the number, that their corruption, selfishness, when you look at the numbers of the lives they have ruined, and the, what they call the charity they are doing, the goodwill they are doing, that gives them political leverage. The people are my people. They are on my side. Every time I am the one who controls the people. Do you know what I have done for them? But only if the people know how much you have actually stolen from them. And what did you do with the money? It's like you, for example, now, right? You are able to just say, okay, Peter Odili, 1999 to 2007, how much did he steal, officially and unofficially? And you see it. What did you do with the money? Where is the rest of the money? And you're able to see all of that. Would you still call people like that your leader? Like, you're able to kind of see things like that easily. Citizens know what they have stolen from them. You won't be able to control them now. That is why this social media that they've not been able to control is one great headache for them. And somebody said, you might think, as some people will say that, you might think we are just noisemakers. All we do is just all this talk. We need action. We need to. These people don't give it that. They don't care. Of course, from the outer surface, they don't care. They act like they don't care. You see all these voices that all of you are putting out there, using all your own influence here and there to continue to enlighten the people. And you can easily see the response and the growth in this availability of this kind of information to the generality of the people, right? You can see the population growing. That's a big problem. They believe, some of you may not know, somebody told me that majority of them, they believe that they are living on a borrowed time. Something is going to click that will consume everybody. And you can easily relate that to the way and the level, the way they have been like stealing from you, and the level they have taken corruption to. A lot of you are seated today and you are looking back and you're like, God damn it. What are they doing with all this money? What would one man do with 180 billion? You are imagining how somebody can easily just steal billions of dollars. So just like that. Because they are stealing as if to say Nigeria is going to end soon. One of these days, this whole thing is going to end. Okay? Because all of you continue to talk and talk. One day, that talk is going to lead to the greatest mobilization they've ever seen. That's why they are angry that they are not controlling this whole platform thing. Social media. Do you know how much money they are spending on PR? On PR, just to kind of either to try to take over the narrative of anything. They've lost. Because that simply means it is like living on a borrowed time. Sooner or later, it is going to kaboom. So take whatever you can take now. Then you better take whatever you can, anything where you can get. You better quickly take your own night, because if you wake up tomorrow, may Nigeria may no demo. And what will be our own this? It will be whatever we have managed to steal from them. They are building airports, abandoned your roads. Even states that cannot pay salary, they are building airports because they are no longer kind of interested in using the cars. Automobiles, they spent billions. If you put all of them together, trillions every year to fund their own vanity. Now they are buying private jet for themselves. Building airport in the name of, we are building airport for Ekiti. Ekiti is building airport. But what is wrong in building it? There's nothing wrong. But a lot of you believe that they are just building the airport for you. No. They need a place where they can land and fly when everything done pafuka. You will just be wondering, how did that one leave Nigeria? How did that one escape? Instead of building private airfield, which they have been building, by the way, as well. Some people have told me that as well. Secret airfields springing up on different part of Nigeria. Flying private people, they call them private. Who are those private people other than politicians and their elite friends that they always present to you as businessmen? Those are the people that fly to those private secluded airfields now. But those ones who are as governor, they are building airports. They will just build a one-year runway that can take their private jets. And they will take the pictures. They will cut the tape and say they have built the airports. They are preparing their escape. They are looting Nigeria like tomorrow, no day. These are people who are supposed to be rich, yo. Nigeria is bleeding, oh. Sure, you get. These are people who have stolen. I'm talking about career criminals, career politicians. Majority of them have been in this business at least for the past 30 years. When this democracy started, there are so many of them that have been in it for the past 20 years. They have made a fortune. They have looted. You know what I mean? But when you look at the level at which they are doing it now, you go no say it be like something is not just adding up. They are adding up now. You know, believe waiting you they add up, because to you when is that going to be? I can't even imagine that. You are listening to the live what do you call it, the live horror of what is still going to play out in that place. And yeah, the what do you call it, the people who don't believe that these rogues and these criminals, their intention and what have you may be bad, but nevertheless we must still fight for our country. Like, I've had people who say that to me all the time, yeah. And I don't really argue with them. I just be like, yeah, that's true. People have told me that we love your passion for Nigeria. We know that you love Nigeria so much. I was like, I love Nigeria. And the love I have for Nigeria is that break it up and save the lives of the people that are going to be doomed in this contraption. It could be your life, it could be mine, it could be the life of our loved ones, and all these lives, they are just going to go for nothing. So somebody said that that's what people should have done during the time of what do you call it, when the INEC was moving mad and about to announce the number at 4 a.m. They were supposed to shut everywhere down, like the people of Kano did. And with that, those who believe that nothing they happen, they'll begin to think again like, something will happen. Oh. Sure you get. But as me, I know, you see in Nigeria, make I tell you something. Your criminal leaders who are so afraid of your voice, they want you to keep quiet. All right? They want you to shut up and just do as they say, not as they do. Okay? But from the point of psychologists, they said Nigerians are frustrated about everything. They are frustrated as well that they cannot express themselves without consequences. So therefore, they are bottling it and bottling it and bottling it. One day, you see that thing they put inside that your inner belly, where they put there, say, economic hardship, right? You want to react. You are like, okay, if I react, they may kill me. You bottle it, you put it inside. You are suffering. You are coping. You are adjusting, and getting used to it, and all of that. All of that frustration and disappointments, right? You are bottling them. You are putting them inside. One day, the number of you that are going to explode and everything will be out of hand, is the reason why these criminals who prefer nobody tells you to explode now. But do they know that you are going to explode one day? Do they know what they are doing to you is wrong? Of course they do. I have told you this before. A lot of you might say Nigeria is not working. Like we all know it's not, because it's not working for the majority, right? But the people who are the minority, the ones who are in charge of all this misfortune, is working for them. They are buying new jets. They are buying new, they are budgeting for new houses, buying new cars. You know what I mean? Like traveling abroad, going everywhere, increasing their salaries and all of that stuff. Baba. And they are telling you that, you know, we understand what you are going through. We feel you. We feel your pain. We feel your complaints. We are working very hard to ease them up for you. But you know they are not. 16 years ago, late Chief Gani Faweyimi, the senior advocate of the masses, Sam 1, they call him then. That man was trying to be president of Nigeria, but he said something 16 years ago. And I want you to please pay attention, not just like, oh my God, Chief Gani Fawe, oh my God. No. I want you to listen to the details of what he has to say. And then fast forward to 16 years later, 2024. 2003. So 2024. How many years is that? Is that no more than 16 years? I think it should be 21 years rather. 21 years ago, rather. 2003. And everything that you are going through today was also the talking points 21 years ago. Omo yami. So if I sit down here and I tell you Nigeria no get future, okay? And when we say Nigeria no get future, it simply means everyone trapped in Nigeria has no future. Look at majority of people now. What they call future now, one is category by category. Sure, you get. What some call future is when they have access to public money, all right, free money. They begin to, They begin to dream about future, like, you know, right? Their children, why their children must never be poor again. So they have to work hard and steal more. So those ones will tell you, in Nigeria, there is future for Nigeria because there is future for them in whatever Nigeria becomes. There are others who believe that after stealing from Nigeria or even doing legitimate business, the future is not in Nigeria. A majority of them are looking for either to take their family out of Nigeria. They will tell you, me, I'm still going to be in Nigeria. I just want my family to, you know, I want them to kind of like, you know, go to America or go to Canada like that. So if you know anybody that can help me with that. For me, I'm still going to be here. This Nigeria now, because to them, if anything will happen, may happen to them. But for their children and their, oh, mama beg. That's the future for them. But you see the rest of you, where your second name no be like the names from these categories I mentioned. And they are telling you that you should have faith. God is there for you. God is the God, Baba. One ton any o. Sure you understand? Nigeria will need future kokon. Imagine those of you who are probably going to see this video and you are just 23 years old, 24 years old. You are just babies. Babies. when what you are now facing today, complaining about today, joblessness, insecurity, poverty, corruption, Baba, 21 years ago when you were just a baby, they were as old as you are now. I'll show you. Watch this.
Very much.
This was him. It was actually presidential debate, by the way. And pray for me. May they no sanction me because of this clip, because I just want to share it with you. To let you know that 21 years ago, ladies and gentlemen, I was just a 19 years old boy. 2003. I was 19 years old boy. Today I am a man, a father of 5. So, do you see how myself, I be young boy, I wasn't even I was just a teenager. And imagine all those who are of my own age today in Nigeria, who are actually in majority. Imagine what they are talking about today. Watch this.
Very much, Chief Ganifa Wemi. We'll move from the Niger Delta to area of national security.
Yes, national security. Right. Chief, there is this national concern about security of life and property. Recently, there was a summit of stakeholders on how to ensure security of life and property of Nigerians. What specific steps would you take to bring violent crimes to a tolerable level?
Violent crimes did not just come like anything from the sky. They are man-made and they are created by policies of government. Nobody wants to be a robber if he has a job to do. 86% of the crimes of Nigeria are caused by poverty. There are 3 types of crimes. Poverty-induced crime, and that accounts for 86%. 2, disease-induced crime. Those who must do a kleptomanic mania, and they steal because they want to steal. And thirdly, there are those, even if you give them the heaven, they will ask for God. Those people are in the minority. But the most troubling is the percentage of 86%, who are robbing and stealing because of poverty. Let me tell you this. Do you know that 85% of the graduates we produce don't get jobs? Do you know that 97% of those graduates are from poor homes? In the past, it used to be that if you send your children to school and they come out of school, you say your burden is over. Your children will take care of you. Nowadays, when your children leave the university, they come home, you start feeding them again. That is intolerable. So when these young men see how our money is being looted and being used to buy sumptuous cars, build houses, and so on and so forth, and you want them to stay home, wake up in the morning, do nothing. So for God's sake, let us deal with the social problems that have afflicted the masses of our people, then you reduce crime. You can create 1 million policemen in Abuja here. You can create 1 million policemen in Lagos. Crime will continue to grow. When Tafa Balogun was telling us about fire for fire, he doesn't know there's no fire in the belly of his policemen. They are stricken by poverty. They are enveloped by anger. Their own children are poor. They have not eaten in the morning. And they are using old, outdated guns to meet AK-47. So for God's sake, let us deal with social problems. You reduce crimes. Give people jobs. Give people food. Create an atmosphere where people can go to school. Not locking up the university for 8 months because ASU is asking you to pay what the UNESCO says you should do, 26%, and you are giving 1.8% of the whole allocation to education. So these children are angry, and they can turn into crime anytime and be criminals. And then you have yourself to blame if they visit you at night. Look at Lagos today. Every street is an open prison. There is a huge barrier, a huge iron gate in every street. And you know what that's caused? Many people who are pregnant and they want to go to hospital could not deliver because they couldn't go out at night. Some of them have died. The baby have died. The babies have died. The mothers have died. And therefore, for God's sake, we should not cut our noses to spite our faces. Let us deal with the social problems instead of the physical problem of employ more policemen, because policemen themselves are poor.
Do you hear that? That was 21 years ago, Omo Yami. If you see anybody in their 50s, in their 60s, in their 70s, telling you that Nigeria is going to be great one day and blaming you. You know they do that a lot. What have you done? All of you, these young people, when we were younger like you, we know what we did to make... They didn't do anything. No, these are useless people. And they want you to end up useless like them too, in a useless country, created by their useless, supposed leaders too. Remember all these criminals, they were younger at a point as well. They were not born old. They're not born old. They were younger like you too, when they started this journey that finally led Nigeria to where Nigeria is today. Did you hear him talk about ASU strike for 8 months? They never born you that time. Now you have the experience of a ASU strike of 8 months. Didn't you? Abi, you don't forget, you can't forget. Abi, why would you forget? Your children are going to suffer ASU strike of 8 months strike. In their lives too. That is the future of Nigeria. It's not like person they wish open your eyes. He said they were using money that is meant to help the social responsibility like that, right? They were using that to buy cars, to build houses. And he gave examples of, look at Lagos. And it is true. Almost every street, they have gates now. Almost every street in Lagos. Why? Because of armed robbers. For security. Where dog, they chop dog. That is the society they have created. And they don't give a damn. Since they have the police to protect them, things have gotten even worse. Let's go back to Kano. Talking about policemen, Nigerian policemen. Do you know that you have been hearing about repentant terrorists being recruited into the Nigerian army? Have you heard about repentant thugs being recruited into the police? 222 of them have been recruited after they said some rehabilitation and training, or police rehabilitation and training. 222 thugs in Kano are now policemen, and they could be the one asking you to park there in the next few weeks in any part of Nigeria. They are Nigerian policemen. No, they are not like, oh, they created some Boko Haram repentant. No. They were thugs, criminals. They call them criminals, but they use thugs for them. But they're like repentant criminals. You will never know their crimes. You will never know what they have done. You will never know if so many of them are sex offenders, if they are armed robbers themselves, if they are murderers themselves, if they are serial killers or what have you. You will never know. But it's going to put on your uniform. Nigeria police uniform. Amy, Kilonshe Nigeria. Oh, I do think that, oh, that if you continue to say you want to keep this contraption together and you are waiting like a cow at the slaughterhouse, okay, waiting to be killed, it's your choice, no wahala. But once in a while like that, I'm just like, I'll day. Ese Jesu ni biti akoni yara wa aurira wa ale ogiara wa. So Jesu lo ma ṣe chairman join yen tó bá gba wa ta lọ sí ọ̀run rere nìyẹn, ó bode jẹ́ fire náà ni. Anywhere we will meet again, we go meet again. Kí ló ń ṣe Nigeria? I call criminal, make criminal come protect me. Me ò gbọ́ rí. But in Nigeria, it is what Nigeria has become.
The 222 thugs, popularly known as Endaba in Kano State, are here to embrace the amnesty initiative introduced by the Nigeria Police Force in the state. About 3 months ago, the Kano State Police Command invited some identified individuals believed to be behind the escalation of thuggery and other heinous crimes in the state for dialogue. The meeting yielded a positive response as some of the thugs embraced the initiative. Among the 222 repentant thugs, 50 of them drawn from Dala, Fege, Ungugu, Kano Municipal, and Gwale local government area of the state, having completed a 2-month intake training as members of the Nigerian Police Special Constabulary, were decorated. They pledged to promote peace in the state and promised not to go back into thuggery.
I am among the 50 people who were trained and absorbed into the Nigerian police force, and I am prepared to play my part to ensure that Kano is peaceful. We will go around the state and continue to preach peace to the people so as to keep the state safe.
While welcoming the repentant thugs into the society, the Commissioner of Police, CP Mohammed Gumel, debunked reports making round that the police is recruiting thugs as its personnel. He says the amnesty initiative is only aimed at sustaining peace in the state.
As of today, the police command has received a total of 222 influential youth and are committed to crime prevention duties with the police to fish out violent criminals among them, notorious thugs popularly known as Endaba, who over the years engaged in supremacy conflict, Padandaba as we call it.
The governor of the state, Abba Yusuf, who gave a rosy welcome to the repentant thugs, urged them to be good ambassadors of the state.
From the day they surrendered, they have been subjected to series of reformatory process. They have undergone lectures from psychologists and other experts in human behaviorism. And by the grace of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we are going to give them all the necessary encouragement.
But the move has generated uproar online as some of the repentant thugs, who is said to be a notorious criminal, recently declared wanted by the police. Nasiru Abdullahi, popularly known as Chile Midoki, is among the new recruits. Some critics kicked against his inclusion and denounced the entire amnesty program. But while defending the move by Kano State, the police force spokesman, Muyiwa Adejobi, said, and I quote, "They are not policemen, I was told, and it has been in the news that they are repentant individuals who have been mobilized into the constabulary scheme of Kano State. The constabulary scheme is not police, but a community-based initiative. With the integration of these 222 repentant thugs into the society, residents of Kano hoped that the amnesty program will address the incessant crimes in the state." Ayo Adinaye.
I decided to give you that report so that you just be like, oh, then you kind of hear the part where they have to cook you. What they were doing next was to cook you. Or it is a special constabulary force for Kano. Here you get. And they are just there to maintain peace. What peace? And it's the Nigeria police force scheme. Blah, blah. Why are you just hearing that? Is police itself not constabulary police? Nigeria police is that not constabulary? Constable. Abi, do you not even know that? It is the same colonial policing system left by your colonial master. That's what you are having there. Do you not know? Some of, okay, maybe now you do know. So anyway, Sha, they say now until you begin to see them everywhere they will be. And then you'll be like, I thought they said na Kano you go there. I just be like, you cannot even speak English. You hear what they talk? Well, I go there. Now here I go there now. This is where this is where I've always been. When all of this will just drop on my lap, I'll be like, shame you suffering. What today? Kano constabulary today baushi. And they're just like that. That's it. But there's also something that sort of irked me. And that is, I don't know if you have noticed that too. I'm just kind of like, a lot of people have been reacting to that video differently, which is all right. But to me, I was just like, hang on, what is with this northern Nigeria and creating forces like, this force, that force, whenever a southerner is the president of Nigeria. Like, I mean, what is that? They created Sharia when Obasanjo was there. Yeah. Then they empowered the Sharia courts that look like they're like normal courts. They could, like, Sharia was supposed to just be about Muslims, okay? If I'm a Christian right now, or as long as I'm not a Muslim, right? Sharia was not supposed to touch me. That was what they said, though. It wasn't supposed to touch me. That somebody said, okay, I said something about Allah. Sharia was not supposed to touch me. I know that is what the moderate Islamists, the moderate Muslims will say. But in practice, you know, that's not how it is in practice, if you will be honest. Blasphemy, those people they have killed, majority of them are Christians. They are not Muslims. And they were killed because they said they did something that violated Sharia. Now Obasanjo allowed them all. Obasanjo. So now they have started the police constabulary filled with repentant thugs that have been through psychologists. Are you joking? Is that playing? You say, are you playing? Of course, Nigeria is a joke as it is, and it's also a very, very dangerous one. So dangerous that life is almost meaningless. Some will tell you outrightly, life is meaningless in Nigeria, but I still believe that there are still people who kind of value lives, and they are doing their own best to sort of preserve lives. So we should never just, you know, rub them off like they don't exist. That's not going to be kind. There are people who are doing everything to also kind of impact on humanity because life is still sacred to them. Imagine people who have baby factories. And what they do there is just to get young women, get them pregnant by random men, and then put them in a house like you are rearing a chicken or rearing a goat, okay? Waiting for the day they will deliver. If they deliver 2 kids, that's like an extra blessing for you. The owner of the baby factory, they call that baby factories. Even though their law in Nigeria supports adoption, here you get. Yet, some people believe that in their own evil, creative mind, they could just turn human beings into animals that are just popping out babies so that they could sell them all over Nigeria. There are those who are experts in kidnapping children. They will kidnap them from southern Nigeria, sell them off in northern Nigeria. They will kidnap children from northern Nigeria, sell them off in the southern Nigeria. And it was like, there are people who do that. I don't know if some of them are watching me in real life. So they found a place in Gombe. I'll show you this one. So we can actually give credit to their police here. Good job. Thank you, especially because of these children. Look at it.
A sad reality on the rate of child trafficking stares on the face of humanity as Gombe command of the Nigerian police force parades suspects involved in a ring of trafficking babies and that spans from Gombe State to the shores of Lagos and Anambra states. It is at Barundi community where it was spotted, where one Khadija Manzo and 15 others were in the forefront of brewing a baby factory, as they had to sell one baby at a cost of 400,000 naira.
Sometimes within last year, one Khadija Shehu Manzo and 15 others were involved in selling young babies to people in need. On receipt of the report, detectives attached to Locust Division swung into action, where a full-blown investigation was carried out, and the said Khadija was arrested. In the course of investigation, the other suspects mentioned above were also arrested.
What's interesting were the activities of officials of the government-owned social welfare which led to the reported sale of 5 babies, at which they were rescued with a hunt for 2 babies in Anambra and Lagos State, respectively.
Out of the 400,000 she received from the person that bought the child, which is Tina Raphael, she gave 200,000 naira to one Haruna Abubakar, who is working with the social welfare Gombe.
There is one Hadiza came to our office telling me that her sister was given a child by the hour, that she want to adopt the child. The hour people gave her the child. They sent them to come to our office for us to recognize, to document everything.
Such is an interesting chain of events in the Brain Baby family.
Thank you, AIT. That's your report, by the way. Do you know where it actually gets more? Some people said that's breaking. I said where it actually gets more sad is that those who facilitated the sale of the children, 400,000 naira per child, they were government workers working in the social, what do you call it? The social welfare department of a government. Their job is to protect the children, ensure that they are safe. But all you have to give is 400,000 naira, and they will hand the baby to you like they will hand you a dog. You know, like, I mean, if because as a father, right, I was going to ask that, do you have kids? Like, do you have children? Okay. And what's it going to be like if somebody just yanked that off you because you have become so poor that you agree to be popping out their children just to stay alive and just to be able to feed? Or what? You don't want to see the kid anymore. In Nigeria, where they believe that human being can turn to money, they also are in the market buying children, which they call, you know. So when you now see the people who are in government, who are supposed to actually arrest these people, are those really involved? Working with baby factories, Aruna Mohammed, AGA, that woman, that, you know. Somebody said the heart of man is evil. Of course it is. So is the heart of woman too. Someone will just balance them like that. Evil people. I've been hearing about baby factories now. Abia, Aba, Lagos, Kano, this Gombe that you just heard about now, and so many other places. Like, it's actually business for some. And it doesn't matter whoever is caught. They're going to do it elsewhere again. They're going to do it elsewhere again. And some of because the real people who are supposed to stop it is an opportunity to make money for them. And all they have to tell themselves is that at least the children will have good life. They don't know. They don't care. If the children are going to have good life, or if they are not going to have it, they don't care. But that's what they tell themselves to make themselves feel better. And sometimes they actually tell themselves, those who do this kind of horrible thing, right? They tell themselves that they are helping people to be happy. Are you serious, man? Baby factory is not, you know, usually they will say children or little girls who get pregnant and they run away from home. Okay, some people, instead of like taking them in and helping them, okay, they will just turn them to baby factories, you know. But that was then. These days, they recruit people. So what job? There is a job. Oh. What is that job? The job is that you are going to get pregnant for women who can't get pregnant or who want children, and you will be paid. For example, now, for a child, we'll give you 50,000 naira, 100,000 naira. You can use that to start something. And if you have twins, that's like 200,000 naira. You can use that to start small business. And if you want, you can, if you like as well, you are still young. If you give them like a 3-4, that's like 400,000 naira. 4 children. Remember, one is 400,000 though in the market too, 400,000 though. But that's what they give to these girls. Imagine you being pregnant for 9 months because of 100,000 naira. Imagine the poverty that will make anyone, or the condition that somebody will be in, only because they will give them 100,000 or 200,000 naira to be pregnant for 9 months with the agreement that, no, this is not even like surrogate. They are raping them. That's what is happening. It's not like artificial insemination. Like you say surrogate. No. It is so, I mean, that's why I'm kind of short of words. So they continue to rape them and rape them and rape them until you get pregnant. You don't need to know whoever is coming in. Random men will come in, they will rape them and rape them and rape them until they get pregnant. If you don't get pregnant this month, the whole rape continues next month. Until you get pregnant. Then you carry that for 9 months, only for somebody to yank that off you. Or for those who are still having theirs, probably they haven't found buyers for them. So that because they know that those kids are not theirs, they're going to take them from them. So that's why I asked you earlier that, do you have kids? Do you? In case if you know anybody who is doing this kind of horrible business, you have no other responsibility than to expose them, even if they are your family members. Do you get that? You kind of, as horrible as Nigeria is, I know, you have no idea of the different kind of human trafficking that is going on in that place. And that is what Chief Ganifa said, in a place where they deliberately make the people poor. In Abuja, the people are selling their kidneys. I'm talking about large number of people, young people have sold their kidneys, and they are currently not on any dialysis or something. If they take any kidney from you, you will be on medication for the rest of your life. But poverty will tell you, shebi na one, might just sell them. When you give it away like that, no amount of money given to you, is going to be enough to give you the medical care that will actually prolong your life. But poverty will tell you, no, leave that one, Jari. I know somebody, they donated his kidney. Today is done that now for the past 15 years. Really? Okay. That is a pandemic in Abuja, apart from the kidnapping. So 22 people were kidnapped in Abuja last night again. But it's unfortunate, isn't it? I'll use this political break as well to kind of use it as a break. Okay, let's in fact, there's no break, not yet. When you think your right is being violated, who do you call? If you are in trouble with the law enforcement, call Saul. No, don't call Saul. You know, they will say, you better call Saul. No, don't call Saul. You will call a lawyer. That's the first advice that will be given to you. You need a lawyer. And the reason is because you don't want to say something that is going to implicate you. And if this is going to end up in court, that is going to further destroy your chance or your defense. That is why you need a lawyer. And in fact, professional policemen knows that they cannot talk to you except your lawyer is present. Yes. Or if you waive having your lawyer around when you are in contact with law enforcement officers. That is what professional do. That is what normal people do. But you see in Nigeria where they have beaten the submission into us. They have beaten us from generation to generation. They have beaten submission into, so you sabi law. So all you are saying is that you know the law, Abi. So you're telling me you know your right. You know your right. Boss! On wide big slap. And you begin to hear the tunes of old fella, old this, old that, they are all playing simultaneously in your head, and they ask you again, did you just say you know you're right earlier? And you're going to tell them, say, no, you misunderstand me, you misheard me. I didn't say I have right. Yeah? I said, if you check my right hand, I didn't say my right. I said my right hand. I thought you wanted to say you know you're right, because that is the situation in Nigeria. I was asking the people the other, I was like, how do you kind of waste so much money to be a lawyer in a country or in a lawless country? How does that make any sense? You invest in education simply because there is always going to be a return on that investment. And that's why they say there's nothing. I mean, education is not a waste. If you think education is a waste, try ignorance. Or as they say, if you think education is expensive, try ignorance. Some of you probably don't want to know that ignorance is more expensive. You just be like useless, like almost totally useless. And education is not just about how to read and write alone, how to what they teach you in that your four corner of your bedroom and all of that. I mean, it's classroom rather, bedroom. There's a lot, like me now, self-taught and life experience. And my own popular quote is, life is a teacher. The more you live, the more you learn. In Nigeria, they beat lawyers steady. When lawyer walk into a police station, before your lawyer even show up, they don't beat you, you don't write statements. Burn you. Which right? You decrease. Write statements. They will tell you what to write. You will be writing and you'll be lying against yourself. Remember, you shouldn't do all of that without the presence of your lawyer, so that you don't implicate yourself. You dey mad? Write it there that 3 of you are armed robbers that will cut you under the bridge in Oshodi because you have no address of where you are going. Yeah, write it there. But guy, I told you, I said, you dey mad. All because you didn't give them money. One not here, but until you actually like give them what they want. But gone are the days when you be like, I'm waiting for my lawyer. No lawyer, everybody. The judge about telling one man, no judge. You have no idea where you are living if you don't believe. I mean, if you think all of that are normal. So why are you studying law in a lawless country? Because you want to put it, okay. Lawyers are protesting in Lagos because they can no longer take it. This is too much. Why did I become lawyer? Did I become lawyer to be beaten up like this? We need to report to the whole world. Police brutality must stop. And I remember that they were actually very much involved in the NSAS protest at the time. Lawyers support NSAS. And they staged their own protest too. Remember? NSAS, okay. But that's the issue. A lot of us kind of forget things so easily and then very fast. Events, there are so many things to remember, Abi. Let's go back to Lagos. Lawyers, Lele, yo.
Solidarity forever. We shall always fight for our rights. Solidarity forever. My vice predecessor in office.
You know, I joined my matter this morning because of this match.
No, we must match. We must match.
You know,
let me let.
Yes, so we must match. We must match. I had joined my case because of this match. I'll give you the long one, by the way, so you can see all of them in their full glory and all that. Where they're like, the police IG must do something. The police are harassing us. So the recent case is that of a guy who went on to bail his clients arrested by the police. When he got to the station, Immediately, he identified himself as the lawyer to the person they detained. Egbabata said, collect his slippers. No, I said I'm the lawyer. I am barrister Ajanle Kokoeko Bodomele. You know, that kind of like, I am a Egbagan, collect the gown. What are you doing? I mean, you need to, under section 35 of 37 of human rights of Egba belt, remove his belt. No, you cannot do that. If you remove this belt, it's going to, okay. Oh yeah, Mulo saying you can't. No. That was where Wala started. No, you cannot take me. Oh, how can you arrest a lawyer? This is unacceptable. Under section 45 of 97, 90, nonsense. Back. When the beating too much, you guys said, they wanted to kill him. He had to let go. Oh yeah, arrest me. They say when beating no reach, you go to tell person where they beat you, say, God punish you. If the beating enter you very well, na ejo, sir. I get it, sir. Please, sir. Lumamashi. Iya otoya, lomon so ko ni defend to no. You know, go better for you for beating me. Iya otoya now on a sample. On no lawyer. Only this protest you, just in case if you want the backstory. And it's not a laughing matter. Tobatin no lawyer, you can't tell me, say, Maiyegun, when are you going to come to Nigeria? You better don't let me put your name in the black book and begin to actually identify the people I have been seeing in my dream. So I can begin to identify you in real life. Nigeria is a lawless place. It's like somebody buying tickets, flying straight into North Korea. Nibiti Kim Jong-un. Should I Kim Jong-un? Oh, do you know Kim Jong-un? I would learn forever. If you get family, if anybody knows in a dare you day, may them come at you for the family picture. That's what Nigeria is becoming. Some of you will testify to that very soon. Lawyers say that they beat them in Nigeria. Lagos lawyers. Ish. Their second protest.
Solidarity forever. Solidarity forever. We shall always fight for our rights. Solidarity forever. Solidarity forever.
Our colleague was recently brutalized in a police station in Lagos here. So we are protesting against such incidents, and we also want to warn against the occurrence of such incidents in future. That is why we are marching today.
Part of the slogan or the song being sung here is bail is free. Why is that?
Bail is free because in spite of the fact that the inscription bail is free is boldly written in all police stations, we have information to the fact that bail is still, money is collected, bail is sold, and that is why lawyers are saying no to payment for bail.
Police are supposed to be seen as a friend of the public, of the people.
But we have been assured today by the Commissioner of Police, Mr. Fakwade, that the police, that the police will remain our friends. So we want to see that in action. They want a full investigation of the incident, station, and happily the Commissioner of Police announced today that a high-power investigation is already ongoing. He also indicated that lawyers should be prepared to be members of the committee since the police have nothing to hide. So after the report, we are also taking certain steps, or beside the report, the NBA is filing an action, to protect the human rights of our colleagues. And to make a point that if anything of that nature happens to any lawyer, again, the Nigerian Bar Association will take it up.
And when it's not direct.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. We shall When lawyer says yes, nobody can say no. When lawyer says yes, nobody can say no. When lawyer says yes, nobody can say no. Solidarity forever. Solidarity forever. Solidarity forever. We shall always fight for our rights. Solidarity forever.
So if lawyer don't they sing solidarity forever, you gonna say the matter don't enter. It don't enter the what do you call it? The journey of no return. Yeah. The earlier everybody tell themselves the truth. The better, in my own opinion, the truth is like so different. People will tell you that truth is so different. It depends on which angle, from which angle you are looking at it from. Alaye, there's no angle where you look at from. It will always be the same thing. This contraption is made to be the way it is. You trying to think you have a way to kind of maneuver around it is why you are possibly living that either illusion, a bit delusion, a bit mejeji delusion. So according to the APC Egbekegbese governors who met with Tifnumbu last night on this issue of a better gate, as well as this other guy Olubumi Ojo in interior, a lot Charade, in the afternoon before the evening, some guys came together and they said, wow, it is the cabal, passport cabal. Sorry, passport cabal. Because, you know, I wanted to say something there, I just took it back, so don't worry. They said the passports cabal are those who are coming after Olubumi Ojo, the passport minister for Nigeria. Haba, long. Like fear God, but they, I mean, they don't care, they don't fear any God, and you know that. Shena the passport cabal. Now them put the wife, or I mean, his company that is controlled by his wife. Where those passport cabal that puts the name of the company inside the NC to collect 438 million naira. The money landed in the company account. Una withdraw them, come pay few people, made them do PR for you. Now the whole thing is now kind of like you are blackmailing us again to come and lie to us, and you are believing your own lie. And you want us to believe that lie. How is that going to work? Where is the cabal in all of this? How much did they collect from the 438 million naira? Palliative money. How much did the cabal collect? But you know it is Nigeria. Nigeria, a crime scene. Lewa criminal city. All they have is just, all they need is just the name of a group, faceless, and a logo. And then the media will be talking to them because they have something to say about Edu Gate, Abi Better Gate. I'll start with them before we now go back inside the old rock villa. Here.
Especially those within the last quarter of year 2023, and one unfolding within the first quarter of the new year 2024, with special focus on the recent turns of events in the federal government of Nigeria, and it concerns the allegations and counter-allegations rocking the Federal Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs and Poverty Alleviation. Concerned with the development, we, the National Civil Society Council of Nigeria, met to appraise the issues and come up with vital resolution. Gentlemen of the press, ladies and gentlemen, sequence to the issues and appraisers of the developments, we state as follows. The civil society community commend the decision of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu to reduce the size of entourage of executives aiming at cutting down the cost of governance. We here call on both the legislature, which is the National Assembly comprises of the Senate and the House of Rep, and the judiciary, starting from the Chief Justice of the Federation, to follow suit in order to save our economy. That the Council is confident that efforts of the President towards improving security and economic welfare of Nigeria gradually yielding positive results. Today, it is evidence that the Minister can deliver on their mandate. The Minister of Interior has proven that there is hope in the present government. Honorable Tunji Ojo as Minister in charge of Interior and his performance record with natural consequence actions and reactions. In less than 3 months, Honorable Tunji Ojo has shown uncommon brilliance and exceptional capacity with amazing achievement as the Interior Minister within such a very short time frame. From available and verified record before the National Civil Society Council of Nigeria, the Minister has almost completed put an end to the overbearing, semantic profiteering by some predator that saw Nigerians continually parting with each thousand just to procure international passports, which has now been reduced to barest minimum with blockage of many loopholes in less than 3 weeks. Equally, the decongestions of the correctional center across the Federation has put many persons doing compromised businesses around the center out of trade, such as those feeding the inmates at inflated costs. The Ministry of Interior recently launched the online application process for passports that we, going forward, reduce human contacts. In another 1 month, Nigeria in diaspora will have their launch of same e-application, while in another 8 weeks, precisely March 8th, according to what the minister said, Nigeria can do biometrics and also the civil society in the past. So without boring us with much rhetoric, we also have to commend all the other sectors of the country, and we believe strongly that issues boiling around the humanitarian affairs that has linked to as many as possible people need to be properly investigated, and the President is highly commended for his tweet reactions he has taken. We are aware that the EFCC are doing fantastic well, and the officers, both the civil servants and the political appointed political office holder, are also trying as much as possible to cooperate with the security agencies for us to achieve a better result. We are only alerting the public that the situation that is ongoing should be left to be sustained, while we don't drag pettiness into what is already achieved by Mr. President. We understand that the humanitarian ministry have been engulfed with so many allegations, both by the past ministers, by the National Coordination of FOSIPA, and the present minister who was just recently suspended. But I think such a driven should be, the security and the investigators should be allowed to do their job, so that we don't keep putting pertinence into it, trying to drag so many persons, and at the end of the day, we won't be able to get results. Ours is to let the world know.
It is smoke Igbo. It is take Indian. It is smoke Igbo. Is it taking them?
But is it just me, or everyone saw that? Like the two guys beside him, they look tired or they look drunk. Or I don't know if it's just me. One of them was almost sleeping off like. Those are political jobbers. They are always there for hire. After this, I mean, how many scandals have you seen that you have actually seen different young people coming together, giving themselves some bogus names and giving press conferences? Okay, at least some of you will remember Emefiole. You remember those youth that said, Emefiole has the right, as a citizen of the Federal Republic. You remember those ladies? Where are they today? Where is the organization today? This is a non-political organization. We are the one who paid 100 million to buy the form for Emefiole. What do you do for a living? 100 million naira to buy form. They're always there for hire. They are there, and they can even kind of transform to anything you want. If they call themselves National Reconciliation for Peace this morning, if you want to use them next one, they will just change their clothes, and they can change it to National Conscience Justification for Peace. We thought you are the one for National Justification for Peace. Which one is this one again? Say I am also the chairman of that one too. We are consultants. Okay, whatever you want us to do for you, we have all of this. If you want us to act as the people who are actually like, who knows all your history, even though we don't know you, we will do that. Okay, we can even say, they are there for Ayasha. It doesn't matter. And the media will be there. Did you not see all those microphones from all those media houses? They are listening to those clowns. Or if you think you have seen enough clowns. Now those ones will now graduate to these ones. Still on the matter.
Hey, Baba Gashimana. Where are you? Where are you? Mami, come on.
Because you know that the Progressive Governors Forum are united in supporting the administration, APC administration, ably led by our ebullient President Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR. We will continue to support him. We will take his policies to the grassroots. And as subnational leaders of our great party, ensure that our people come on the same page with the thinking of the government, which its primary objective is how to secure the country and provide adequate welfare to the good people of our dear country.
So, we want to really find out if what has now become Betty Gates, for people to use that word, is one of the issues. Better Gates is one of the issues that topped the agenda of your discussion.
You mean my gate here is not better?
No, I'm talking about
it's a new vocabulary.
Yes.
But you see, the functions of a government, the only perfect being we have observed and noticed is Almighty God. The functions of government includes encouraging good things, good appointees, and discouraging bad things and bad appointees. But it has to do with what you just said. It's just an allegation, and in the wisdom of the president,
is being investigated. It is after the investigation is completed and the report made available to government that the government will not take a final decision. So don't be in a hurry and don't allow any sickness like anxiety, cirrhosis catch any of you.
The party released the by-election timetable and also timetable for its major election this year.
That was them last night. Then this afternoon, when their Supreme Court of Injustice pulled back from their state capture, right? I mean, like how we started anyway, okay? They returned back to the place they called themselves a progressive governors. They are thieves, so don't call them progressive. So, however, before we go back to that same villa, I'll show you how the people of Plateau states also reacted. Like I said, this case of a Plateau state is even like more kind of, should I use the word peculiar? No. It's more crazy. You know what? The guy is PDP. And APC already lost presidential election to Labour Party there, Peter Obi. They were going to lose the whole state to Labour Party as well. But there was this agreement they said they came to. True or false, please. I couldn't find the evidence. But they said that all of them agreed that they were going to go for this Mutfangi guy of PDP. And like I said, I don't believe that. But however, the result came. PDP won the place, as well as the House of Assembly. Majority member or majority seats at the State House of Assembly. APC went to court to challenge their nomination. How and time they submitted their nomination by PDP, and the tribunal, oh dear, the tribunal sacked 16 House members who won elections because according to them, they were not normally or properly nominated. They went for appeal. Appeal sacked all of them. And you see all of the APC that lost elections. They are the ones who are now the lawmakers in the Plateau State House of Assembly right now. It's a full APC place now. And that was why they believed that to just finish the job, okay? Just Supreme Court should just say, this guy too was not properly nominated. So go, so that they can bring APC governor after losing the state. And you see all this jihad and all of that that you are hearing. Probably it will just be the beginning. Somebody said, no, Maiyegun, don't say that. Okay. Politics of Plateau State and all of that is beyond APC, PDP that way. Okay. Even if it's APC, there's still no bond them well that they are going to take over Plateau State. I was like, okay. I have to believe you because, of course, they have not succeeded, and we have seen that they haven't in terrorizing the entire place and overrunning it. So yeah, I'm going to believe that person who said that to me without undermining him. You know what I mean? Undermining him. Here, in one of the streets' reactions. Oh, those are the people from Kano. I think, no, I got it. I know. It's not like a too perfect video per se, but it's just to kind of make you see a few of the reactions that we could get on clips, right? So let's go back to that Aso Rock Villa, where some of them went on to say thank you to Tifnumbu. Oh, thank you. You are such a great leader. You are such a, including Sonwo-Iku. I don't know if you have seen this, but let's start with this.
Pretty much, it's really just to thank all of our citizens in Lagos for their support, irrespective of what party affiliation you are, and to call everyone, all Lagosians, to join us once again on our Greater Lagos journey. It's a journey where we've said no one will be left behind. We are transforming the state, the city. We're building structures, processes, institutions that will outlive us, and we're putting in place and a governance structure that would improve the economic, relevance of Lagos in the country. And so for us, it's not just about a victory; it's about the people that have put in all of their hope and aspiration into our government. So really, is to ask everybody to join us, irrespective of whatever party it is, and to see that indeed the train in Lagos is moving. Yes, we have a real fiscal train, but the train of governance is moving. And what we have assured is that we will do it quicker, faster, and bolder. And we've promised to pretty much use every energy that we have to ensure that the economic commercial nerve center of the country remains, that reckoning, not just by word of mouth, but by action, by the benefit that the citizens see in all human capital index, in education, in health, in infrastructure, in ensuring that foreign direct investment, in tourism, in security, everything that makes Lagos a resilient, city, that it can stand with other cities of a size globally is what we're about. And so it's not an APC victory. It's not a Babajide Sanwo-Olu victory. It's a Lagos call in action for all of us to work for the citizens, to improve the lot of Lagosians, and to make meaningful development for our people. At the end of the day, people want, to see good roads. People want to see security everywhere in the state. People want to see hospitals and schools being built. That's what people want, and that's what we preach, and that's what we're going to do.
I mean, I didn't want to put nuisance, Lele, because some people who are seeing us or watching this for the first time, they just be like, why? Come on, Maiyegun, he's saying something nice. Oh, come on, Maiyegun, he's not saying anything bad. But people who know I'm very well don't comment already. The confidence they have to face the camera and lie is kind of legendary. Don't you think? That you are lying, but you are going on and on and on, like your imagination is so good that when you are expressing that, some people around you will just be like, oh my God. Oh yeah? Oh, I can't wait to visit Lagos. Here you get that kind of thing. And that's why people are like, Jashama parallel OTSC, Wajama OTSC, Labala, Joya, Wajama Fawalo, Jama Bu Fawalo, Kama Kujel Ben, like, don't worry, continue. Of course, if the people actually voted for him, it would have made sense. But we know what happened. But he's giving it back to them and say, oh, you did this, so we are going to continue doing all the good stuffs and all of that. And that was how we could there in the Old Rock Villa, okay? There is this guy from Benue. Probably you haven't heard much of him on this platform, but a lot of you should know him. Alia is a pastor, all right? And he's a clown. However, he has this to say too.
Victory, not just for me as a person, but for the great people of Benue State. Victory is sweet, but it places more burdens on when you are output, both the input and the output. That is the expectation, and the expectations being that even the court is reaffirmed of the mandate the people gave me, and I'm quite happy on that. Again, it simply implies that we have to get out there and do some more, let them feel the impact of what they are inspecting. When they give you the mandate, it is an inspection. Then what you put out there for them, becomes their expectation, and I know it's very tall, very, very tall. And we've already started a number of projects. We commissioned 16 roads. Quite a number are done with out of the 16. As I'm speaking here now, the remaining work is still on them. We're hoping that in the next month or two, all the 16 roads shall have been completed. We're going to do the earth-moving machineries are already in place for the underpass and the overpass, and then to go straight into the rural roads development. So these are the projects we intend to do. Work is already ongoing as I'm speaking here on the renovation of the 40-year-old state secretariat. Never been touched before. It was quite in a dilapidated state, so we're going to reinvent it. We're working on reforming our civil service. Work is actually begun, and we also have an institute specifically for that. On when?
Yes, Father. Yes, Father. I think that's what they call him, Abi. Alia. Yes, Father. Baba. Autumn failed so much. Listen to this, Autumn. He failed so much that despite the Fulani terrorists that have killed so many people in Benue State, and they got protected by Boko Haram, people of Benue still went for APC in 2023. For those who followed I followed it too. You will never believe that there will be anybody, any human being at all, that is going to actually ever even consummate it, as in think it, that they want APC anywhere near them, with what they suffered in Benue. But autumn was so horrible, so terrible, Baba, that they chose the devil that is killing them. And that one is there now doing yes, Father. Yes, Father. Mr. President is doing so well in security, and we have seen improved security and all of that. And just that same place where they Abuja, 22 people got kidnapped by the same terrorists. They didn't even hear that because they are all holed up inside the house, Old Rock. There's one more. Hopeless. Uzodejo.
The new year, and congratulate him for all the exploits he has recorded since he became the president of the country, and also to renew our hope in his renewed hope agenda, and exchange the pleasantries, and also among other things thank him for the way he has supported the governors of all the subnational governments since its inception, and how he has sustained funding to governors, particularly in some interventions that are outside the statutory allocations. And the president is happy with that, and also encouraging as a result of the insecurity in the country. Acknowledge his efforts, commend him for doing so well, and also encourage him to continue so that insecurity will become a thing of the past in the country, and also do more interventions to alleviate the current situation in the country, occasioned by some of the policies that are meant to bring reforms. We are happy, and we have acknowledged that his economic policies are working, despite the initial challenges. And with time, we shall overcome those challenges when we begin to reap the real dividends of all these reforms. And the governors are happy. We will be committed to supporting our president as his ambassadors at the subnational level, and also we're committed to marketing his policies to the grassroots, being the head of the subnational governments. I think we were happy and we were good. Business, you know, eating increases the appetite. The more he gives us, the more we want to eat. And we expect that as Oliver Twist, he will ask for more and he will do the more. If you are completely aware and looking at the global situation, economically speaking, you will agree with me that the president is on the right track. And major economic policies all over the world are not determined by the masses. Masses enjoy the dividends. So president, going by the trajectory so far, is following, are doing those things that will make Nigeria save more money, make the economy be recovered and be rebuilt, strengthened, so that the masses will now have better standard of living, security will be guaranteed, the welfare of citizens will also be guaranteed, which is the statutory function of government, the welfare and security of the people. So the president is on the right track, and as leaders, we must rise and be vocal about his achievement.
Nuisance Lele. Nuisance Lele.
I'm sorry, I couldn't help it. Yeah, he's saying it for his own level of lies to tell you that they are doing a reform. And that reform, once it begins to yield results, you begin to enjoy. He knows what he's doing. Everybody knows what they are doing now. And the mumus will kind of listen to them and be like, hey, let us give them small chance. Wabala if a lot in blow out straight away. You have no idea, but you will feel it. Okay. So there's actually one more thing I wanted to share with you just before I go tonight. And it is this one. I don't know if you have seen that. PR lulaye. Sometimes when people talk about forces who are making it difficult for people to be able to kind of hold, a believable way of action or something that you have to kind of believe in, and there's nothing that can change your mind. Nothing. No amount of propaganda or PR or whatever you will kind of like change your mind, because you can easily tell when you are being lied to. It is worse when you can't tell when you are being lied to. That one is worse. But you see that of Nigerians, they can tell that they are being lied to, but they are telling themselves they don't want to believe that they are being lied to. They don't want that to happen. They would rather want exactly what they told them to be exactly the same. But you see, they have been putting all this whole thing together all this while. So sometimes I feel sorry for a lot of people, because sometimes you probably just get fed with some information that you just put you in a place and like, can I ask more questions, please? And then you realize that the people you're asking the questions from, they will become agitated, angry. What is wrong with you? Are you not happy that the refinery is working? And all of that. I was like, I have told you this 1 million times. I will be happy for you if indeed the refinery is actually going to change anything in your, in Nigeria. So to say, it's not. Number one, the refinery is not going to add any value to your lives. That is why it's actually going to probably help them make it worse. But let it even start working. They know that the Dangote refinery, okay, is not ready. But you see all this propaganda and all of that, they have to keep your mind engaged. Like, they have received how many barrels now? A refinery that has the capacity for 600,000 every day, which is actually huge. You know what I mean? Has received 6 million barrel of crude oil stored already. And then they switched on that. I think they gave me a name for it the other day, but I've forgotten. Okay. And I remember they did the same. You remember they did the same thing for the Port Harcourt Refinery. Then later they came back to say, no, it's not the food. It's just a part of it and all of that. But because it is the first time there is a name for this thing. Oh, please, you have to remind me. Because they did this, the breaking news, Dangote refineries have started working because of this fire. Somebody said it is flare. I don't know what it is. But I have also told you that in a country that is so corrupt, that the people will believe anything as long as the worst, which is the truth that they don't want to believe, it remains something they don't want to. What do you think it's going to take to bring a vessel with diesel and petrol and all of that, and then just move them straight to the private dockyard that which is that of a Dangote, and then move them into the tank farm in the same Dangote refinery? You don't need to see the production. You don't need to see anything. If they want to kind of finish all of you, very soon they will release videos of tankers loading petrol and moving out of Dangote refinery. And that's all you need to see. Whether the tankers are empty, whether they are filled, whether they are whatever, it doesn't matter. Just take the video. Please take the video and show the tank. Show where we are loading the tanks. It doesn't matter where they bring the fuel from. You want to believe Dangote refinery is active? Here, there you have it. What about actually letting the refinery get ready for real work, right? It will do the PR by itself. The same refinery that they opened in May. Have you forgotten? The same refinery that you beat your chest like a dwarf monkey. Abi? A dwarf Godzilla or something like that, right? Maiyegun, by the end of June, Dangote refinery is going to, you have been beating your chest like that for a while. And you are still doing that now. Not because you have any concrete evidence to show that indeed you have one. I want it to be like I want you to have that. So that at least the failure of your criminal leaders, all right, can actually be a little bit covered by the quota system, where all the story around it is they don't bother you. I don't think they do bother you, okay? You shouldn't be. But at least let it actually be ready. Not all this media. Because some of you probably don't know that it's all like PR. There's a reason for it. Nigeria media have reported, the same Nigeria media that said the refinery will start in June 2023. Breaking news. Dangote Refinery is going to start the first production in June, end of June 2023. And the same media come today, they say, breaking news. Dangote Refinery is now, Dangote Refinery starts production. That's what they said. Starts production. I also want it to be true. Okay? And I think I'm going to need more than that that flair. I mean, come on, even if you have forgotten, now just December here, when I show us the video of a flare in Port Harcourt. Port Harcourt refinery active again, finished. I say, are you sure? Hey now, Maiyegun, this Maiyegun gonna say, what is your problem? Are you not happy that the Port Harcourt refinery is now finished, is working? Why are you always negative about Nigeria? I said, because I want to be honest. That is why I want to be honest. I don't want to lie to myself like you are lying to yourselves, because they lied to you, right? And you are lying to yourself. I don't want to be like that. I don't want to believe these criminals because I can't believe them. I just can't. Do you understand that? Only for them to come back 2 days later. No, it's the first section. The Port Harcourt refinery is going to be ready by the end of 2024. Abinobi, you can't talk that one later. after you call me enemy, negative person, are you not happy? I said, it's a lie. Are you really sure? But you are not sure. But you want it to be. You wanted their. I mean, come on, man. So I have been around for a while. So that is why all this they don't work on me. I will be happy for you. I have told you this before. Like, if they actually do something that will actually impact your life and all that, I mean, I will talk about it. You don't need to force that on people to believe a lie simply because you believe that lie. The lie is so good. It looks so good that, Maiyegun, are you saying pay? I'm not saying pay anything. I'm saying that if their refinery is working, they won't need PR. They won't need any 19 seconds PR. They won't need all of this media PR and all of that to keep putting it in your subconscious mind. And then, few months, feel that the story changes. Then suddenly they put it back in your mind. They continue to put that in your face. And then they turn out and say, well, you are a bad person. You're a bad person that you don't believe it this time. Forgetting the fact that they've lied to you for the past, how many years? 2020, 2021. Okay, coronavirus 2020, spread to 2021. Delayed it by 2 years, they said. It was supposed to be ready in 2023. Remember that because of Corona, it was supposed to be ready in 2020. They moved it to 2021. Because of Corona. Then economic, whatever crisis, world economic this. We didn't know. As they were lying to you about those. They were using the same Dangote refinery with its collaboration with the Central Bank of Emefiele to what you have today. And since the EFCC raided that his office, it can't be like they pay more money to the PR guys to kind of continue to remind all of you Dangote refinery is here. Because according to people, they said, raiding Dangote's refinery, EFCC raiding Dangote's refinery, Dangote's office in Lagos, we actually send a very, very wrong signals to investors. Something is not right. If the government of Nigeria can go after this guy because of whatever investigation they said they are doing, man, we're just going to have to be careful before. That's what they said, but some said, shut up, Joe, investors will see the investors, but what happened is that there is more to why the investors don't want to be in that place. I said, well, there are so many reasons. This could be one of them too. This is actually one of them too. So this PR and all of that, no deal. Like I said, what do you think is going to take them? When you don't have journalists or real investigative journalists in Nigeria who are not brown envelope caricature and ever chop and all that. They are doing their thing like you have them in all this Western world, right? You see so many of them who are going to probably like doing their own private investigative journalism right now, report on what is going on. So what do you think? Why do you think it's so difficult for them to, why do you think it's going to be difficult for them to move the same diesel and petrol into the refinery in the middle of the night and then begin to load it? You probably don't have to see the production, Abby, would you? And they don't even have to kind of start any production per se. Just put it on their faces and that's it. Remember, they have told you the Dangote refinery is not going to reduce the price of your petrol or diesel in Nigeria. And as they've already started they kind of already paved the way for higher pay anyway. So, I mean, higher prices anyway. So if Dangote or this, whatever, it's not adding anything to you. I really, really do hope it works. I'll show you this video a second time and tell me what you see. Again. And I heard that it is somewhere in Ibejuleke, Abi. Did you see that it seems like there was light in Lagos when they took that video? At least in the larger part, Abi. Now, you see that flare that you are seeing? Normally it's called the gas flare. Here you get. So when you have some remnants of crude oil in the production machine and all of that, I don't kind of have the real names they call them, okay? when you have that to test your machine and all of that, so it's going to work like it is refining a crude as well. Okay. Now, you see that part where you are seeing that flare, burning all of that, whatever, right? When they started the crude oil refining process, you see that thing that continue to burn there is a dangerous carbon dioxide. They have many other worse name for it. And I heard that some of you, you are already, because there's going to be electricity around, around the Dangote refinery, you have started buying properties around there. So my own is not to break your heart per se, but if I see danger, make I tell you. You see that thing that is flaring there? If it becomes operational for real, and it begins to flare like that every day, in the next 10, 15 years, you see the children that they are going to be giving birth to in that surrounding, all the surrounding area, the villages and all of that, all those places, right? You can possibly expect some level of deformity in them. All over the world, where you have refineries, they encourage people not to live on site. Like, don't live around that place. Don't live close to it. Don't live 100, what do you call it? Don't live 100 kilometers. So it's just stay away. So in most cases, they will build them in the deserts, not places where people kind of come out. No. And when you look at people who work in the refinery, right? They are like the whole battalion of, like, you know what I mean? Like a whole army of everything they need. And when they are leaving the facility, they drive away to where, safe place and all of that. But if then they say you say the lands around the Dangote refinery are now very, very expensive, and to you that is the future, this or that. Anyway, I hope like I just showed you earlier, the Gombe criminals who are selling children, the involvement of those who are supposed to protect the children, social welfare officers, were those in fact facilitating, facilitating the sale of the. Now, when that time comes, when a lot of you will begin to form associations, Association of Ibejuleki residents, Association of the deformed residents of Ibejuleki, Association of the Dangote refineries victims of, retardation. Because all of us are the victims. So how come, what happened? They say, you can see that I look retarded, but that is not my fault. It's because of you now go begin to get all kind of association. They begin to protest. Dangote must be this. Dangote refinery must do that. Human life is this or that in 10, 15 years time. And there will be no government officials at all that will give a damn, I'll give a fuck about you. All right? That's the upside part of it. Apart from that, I really, really do wish that your refinery, that Dangote refinery actually really works. It doesn't really matter anyway, because of what value is he going to add? Per se, than just to make Dangote and his friends richer and you poorer. You don't believe me? That's all right. So the last part of tonight is, I was going to take calls, but we have kind of overshot our time. So I'm just going to continue to talk to you until I'm tired, and I can then just call it a night. How many of you remember this, by the way? I don't know. I just stumbled on it today when I read that, in case if all of you don't know, the last time that the Supreme Court of Nigeria, or the Supreme Court of Injustice in Nigeria, said they gave a ruling in Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's trial. And according to them, the way Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was indeed kidnapped from Kenya was unacceptable, like it was completely illegal. But the fact that the appeal court said he has no case to answer, that is not right in their own opinion. And these courts have no right to withdraw, to have withdrawn his bail conditions and his bail. This was the statement of the Supreme Court like weeks ago now. But do you know something? in that their ruling and judgment, which means they said the case should be returned back to their lower court, appeal court, and they should look into why his bail was revoked and it should be reinstated. All of that stuff should like go back there. Do you know up till now the same Supreme Court hasn't released that judgment? Because you can't go back to any court if the court that ruled that you should go back also failed to assign. Maybe not Supreme Court will assign, maybe not NJC will assign, maybe not, I don't know who is supposed to reassign the case to this lower court. But intentionally, it hasn't left the Supreme Court since that day you heard about it. Up till now. Even though they told you that, oh yeah, it is called delay tactics. They are not pursuing justice of anything. And that's why his lawyers believe that now Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is now a victim of illegal detention in Nigeria. And that is not a joke. And I believe that even when I read that, like the way I felt was like, I'm going to actually like encourage more people to intensify the general demand for the release of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu unconditionally, like you've never done it before. I felt like I'm going to actually like help amplify that, because they can keep him there. Same court that said keeping him in detention like that is injustice. The same Supreme Court, too. But they have technically refused to release that judgment so that they can say, oh, it is now back to the appeal court. Now, the appeal president of Mr. President, Mrs. President of Appeal Court, we need you to assign this case. Now, they are still holding it. Then they will spend another they will spend another month, right, before they finally assign it. Then they will spend another month before they finally pick a normal day and hearing and all of that. Then they will continue to adjourn. And ladies and gentlemen, I can tell you this officially, right? That Tinubu has inherited Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, who happened to be the Boko Haram's enemy. So Tinubu has inherited the Boko Haram's enemy. So it is now kind of proper and very okay to say Tinubu is the one holding Nnamdi Kanu. Don't listen to whatever anybody tells you. And do anything you can. Do anything you want with that information. Also, when you go out there, or when you speak at any forum, when you write that your own article, that piece, and everything you do in your own capacity, you need to begin to make it clearer to the whole world. It is Tinubu that is holding Nnamdi Kanu. It is not because he's afraid of any north. Some people might tell you that you cannot just release him like that. It's going to upset these people. No. That's bullshit. You are giving excuses for him. Nah. It is all practically intentional. All practically intentional. And if you really want to raise the voice, raise it in that direction. It is going to yield that way. And any motherfucker that tells you that you are wrong for believing that Tinubu is holding Nnamdi Kanu and other people's interests is being protected by the same Tinubu until it's going to be convenient for him, when he can use Nnamdi Kanu for his own political leverage. Do not let him turn Nnamdi Kanu to his own guinea pig. Boko Haram kept him as a trophy. Boko Haram wanted to show to his Fulani terrorists that if you are afraid of this guy, I can do anything and get him for you. Unfortunately, they've now realized that kidnapping Nnamdi Kanu, keeping him in their own detention there, maltreating him and the rest of that, denying him his own legal rights as he should be under the United Nations Human Rights Convention, Geneva Convention, as they all love to quote that. Human Rights Convention, Geneva Convention. Nobody gives a damn about Geneva Convention in Nigeria. You know that. All of that was done not because they are pursuing not because he's done any crime or committed anything. No. It was done because somebody just was like, I could do it. Even if I have to break the laws everywhere, I don't care. I'll do it. And I can show it to all these jihadists that I can do it. I told you. it was supposed to be a trophy for him. And the legal system in Nigeria was completely desecrated, like abused beyond any description by these rogues, only for them to end up losing out. So the Supreme Court that was supposed to probably set the record straight decided to continue to play that game. So don't let anybody tell you that Tifnubu can't let him go because it's a case in court, it's a blah, 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 all that nonsense. Intensify it and do whatever you think is right to be done in your own little way until the criminals and people like this that denies their own ancestry simply because it is not profitable in a contraption called Nigeria to be an Igbo person. Identity crisis. How many of you remember this? It's just a few years back. Remember this?
One of the most popular questions here.
Yes.
Is that you are Igbo and that you are denying that you are not Igbo. Are you Igbo or not?
I'm not. You see, people must understand things. When we are in the Eastern region, nobody can deny that fact. We're in the Eastern region. People interpret my name as Wike. They don't understand the history of Wike. In my play, Wike means a newborn baby. See, Wike is a new baby. Right? They said Wike is a strong person or whatever. That's not my point. Okay, assuming I'm an Igbo. Assuming I'm an Igbo, as they said. So I should allow criminals in Igbo land to kill security agencies. Assuming that.
No, they don't want. No, sir. They don't want you to deny your Igbohood. They said, for example, your first name, Ezenwo, is an Igbo name.
No, you see, that's why we have to be careful. My name is Ezebunwa. Now, you see, nobody can deny the fact of affinity with Igbos. Nobody can deny the fact that in our place, your mother may come from Igbo, your father may come from Igbo. We have had that cultural affiliation and affinity. You cannot deny that. Take for example, in Benin or Edo State, they've been with the Southwest. Is that not correct? There are so many names. Here, Apata. There's Apata in Edo. There's Apata in Yoruba. So are you not saying the Apata in Edo is the same Apata in Yoruba land? That is spelling different. They may have a relationship, but that does not mean that you are the same. You know, people, when they want to do something, they, assuming I'm an Igbo, do not consider. Assuming I'm an Igbo, do not consider. But I am not in River State, right? So because I'm an Igbo in River State, so I should allow criminals from my area, who they say as Igbos, to go and kill security forces, agents. Is that what I'm trying to say? I'm not one politician that for whatever political mileage, I will not change my identity. I will not. And people should understand that. I've given you a difference between Apata in Edo, Apata in the West. And that is the same Apata. They may have some relationship. You never can tell. After all, there's nobody that can say you came on your own. We have all links here and there. Some people trace, today. Some Equatorial people in their own history say, we come from Benin, right? We come from Benin. Okay, I may believe the history. History is not something you can say is sacrosanct. Some people have their own views about history. No, from what we have read, people came from here. From what we have read, people came from here. But assuming people now say we are from Benin, position is now zoned to Benin. Therefore, I will go and contest that election because my history, my progenitors, my origin
They're from Benin. Okay, like you, Dele Momodu, you're from Yoruba. Ayaibu came for do the word descended from heaven. Maybe
I'm actually from Edo State.
Okay, no, I'm just sorry. Okay, fine. You see the Dele Momodu. You see,
Delegiwa too was from Edo State.
You see. No, but you see, some people will now say you are from the Yoruba because your name, your similar, your name resembles a Yoruba name.
You go explain tire with a wiki. Talk about yourself. Tell us about your own ancestors. Explain to people what you know. They are kind of convince them and say, well, the names may sound similar, but I'm not Igbo. Baba, this is one of those that if he continued to have his way, Nnamdi Kanu will remain in that place. That's why I told you. Don't let anybody tell you that Tifnubu cannot let Nnamdi Kanu go after all that is on record. Because as criminally minded person, he will look for a way to leverage and take advantage of it, believing that, like we said, whatever money, like he always said, right, himself, he said, whatever money cannot do, more money will do it. And maybe this is the opportunity for him to meet Nnamdi Kanu for the first time. As usual, offer him something. I wouldn't know why he would do that. I'm just saying. You remember there are some of you who once upon a time believed that Nnamdi Kanu was working for Tifnubu. I have seen adults, grown-up adults, with supposed brain in their head that have kind of publicly and privately, confidently said, my brother, you don't understand. Huh. You see how this IPOB gone self, eh? Tinubu know about it. Make I tell you. No, you don't understand. See, Nnamdi Kanu as well, eh? It's like this. I don't want to say everything. I say, really? Yes, now. You don't know Tinubu. I say, I'm only God to you, to your confidence to feel sorrow. I know. You are not like that anymore, Abi. But there are people like that. They will tell you confidently. You know how much money that Tinubu give Nnamdi Kanu? Do you know how much money Buhari give Kenekone? And I'm like, person will born you now, go they look at you and say, Allah, thank God I have a child, I have a son. You know that kind of thing that you just look at somebody and be like, you know? I say, look at him. Very, very, very handsome, but it's a waste of space. I have seen that before. I know you take that personal because Maiyegun is about conviction. Like sometimes you need to know, you don't know everything. That's the most cracking one. What you don't know is bigger than you. That is somebody who don't know shit. But he believes he does. So you say, yeah, come and explain what you mean. Come and explain all you are saying. Apart from all the verbose and not everything that they will be saying, okay? No substance, no nothing. Then they will tell you what you don't know is, I don't know, Sha, kind of. That's exactly what Wiriwike was like there. He couldn't really explain his equity, explain every other, like, what you are. Me, I'm an Ijebu man. And I don't give a damn about any story anybody tells you about Ijebu. I'm a very proud Ijebu man. A descendant of a warriors. Like, we were one of those who held, like my ancestors, so they were one of those who held the British. Imagine, in a colony, British colony, where everywhere is colonized already. Everybody don't do their own thing. But Ijebu, we had to put a toll in Ekpe before we would allow any of them to access where they usually go for salt, like Iyo. So we became the middlemen. The British were so mad. Like, audacity, we serve they pay tax to these people. We're supposed to have conquered this whole place now. Like, this whole place was supposed to be our colony. They had to wage war. It's called Jebu War. Jebu War is the Jebu War. When the Jebus, they kill us, they kill my ancestors, like no joke. But it was one of the longest wars too, fought with the indigenous people in the colonial territories then. Go and read the history now. So I come from that people. So any other thing where anybody want to talk about any, you know what I mean? Like, I'm just like, Baba, oh, Benny, you the wine me. I'm in Ijebu, I can be a nation. Ijebu nation. Ijebu nation now. Because my own ancestors were fighters too. That was when they brought, you know that Arsenal logo. Canyon. I mean, Canyon folder. You know, Canyon folder, they call it. You know that gunners, you see that thing? That was the first time they would use that kind of a thing in a war in that era. When they shoot like about 3-4 of them, and the Canyon landed and blew people out of the ground to the up like, boah, almost, Which kind of weapon be this? They now believe that the gods of the Oyinbo, the jars of the Oyinbo, was stronger than their own. So they surrendered. And the toll gate was taken off. Go and read the history. I am from that part. So Werewike should be able to tell you how his own ancestors were before they were linked to the Igbos or linked to the Benis and the rest of that. As an Ijebu man, do you know something? If not because, and that's one thing they blamed Awolowo for. Do you know that they believe that it was Awolowo, that brought the idea of all of us are Yorubas to the mainstream? It was Awolowo. That's why you see, because normal. Now the people from Oyo, the Oyo people, they believe that they are the real and original Yoruba. You see, the ones who are from Ife, they believe that they are the real Yorubas too. There are others too who have their different history. You see the history of Oduduwa and all of that. Before they recreated everything, they now put them in the mainstream. We as Ijebus, I'm saying this to you now so that you will understand, okay? As Ijebus, we don't believe that Oduduwa came from any Mecca or came from anywhere. Do you understand? We believe that as Ijebus, they say we carry our own crown. The Ajebu ordered for a crown. The Ajebu who now ordered for the crown became the first Awujale of Ijebuland. And as the Awujale of Ijebuland, the kingdom began to expand, and it became Ijebu kingdom. We did not, we don't have it in our history that Oduduwa came to come and found Ijebu. No. But politically, it was Awolowo. It was Awolowo that was like, all these Yorubas scattered. All these people scattered there. Everybody will tell you I'm Ijebu. I'm Egba. We are Egba people, not Yoruba. We are, we are Oyo. So Oyo people kind of feel like they are the ones who have the connection. So they created the history that way and the rest of that. But it was Awolowo who brought everybody to the mainstream. Everybody should identify as Yorubas as one, simply because of our geographical location and everything that we have all shared in common. Do you understand? In case if you don't know, I'm just saying it to you. History. That is why today you can see everybody from every part of the western part of Nigeria today identify as Yorubas. But me as Ijebu, in my history, Oduduwa did not play so much role there. And it's because that's who I am. But joining the mainstream of people I speak the same language with, like the common mainstream language, means that we share affinity together and all of that. And it worked well in the past. And it should be working well now, if not for the vagabonds that succeeded the brilliant minds like that of Awolowo. Sure, you understand? And that's why we are what we are today. And I don't even want to go into all of that one. So when the Wikis denied his his Igbo-ness, because it is not viable in Nigeria to be Igbo. If you brag about it in some places, they will, especially places like Edar Rivers, he will be gone. They will do everything to finish him. And people like that are still there in the corridors of power, where the man who told him his own real history, Nnamdi Kanu, that told him, Wike, come, let me tell you the history of your ancestors. He became offended. He became angry. And you all know the story. So if anybody tells you now that don't blame Tifnubu for why Nnamdi Kanu is still being locked up, or you go shake me for one, because it's either they don't know what they are saying or they are trying to gaslight you to kind of like make it look normal. Supreme Court says that he shouldn't be locked up. He shouldn't have been treated the way he was treated. He shouldn't have been like attacked. They shouldn't have attacked his home and all of that stuff. And more than 3 weeks after that, nearly a month after that statement, they have not released that judgment to the lower court till now. Do they want him dead? Well, time shall tell. So I'll leave you at that, okay? Thank you so much. Thank you very much for tonight. I could kind of still take us extra, but come on. I've been kind of talking now for the past, how many minutes? Anyways, practically like more than 150, nearly 160 minutes. That's 2 hours, 35 minutes, 37 minutes. So I'm going to use the next maybe 5 minutes to gist with you and give you an update. You know, I told you about my coming up studio setup and all of that. Now I'll do some shalaye here. So I picked up the... What is that? So I picked up the lease agreement today, and I have also signed that. So it is actually coming real. So for those who can imagine things, all right, I am going to ask you to probably put your imagination to play now. All right, I am also a dreamer myself, and I always believe that if I can dream about something, I can always make it happen. I always get the support I need most of the time when I need the support, but I never really want to kind of put any of this on anyone who doesn't really feel like it's necessary. Okay. However, on Monday, in fact, I have had people, I've had about 2 people who have indeed donated something for this same cause in my PayPal. Thank you, by the way, if you are watching me. But let me tell you something. I don't care what I actually really get per se at the end of the day. What I pretty much love, which is something I cherished so much, is actually the intention to want to say, oh, I'm going to support him. You do not owe me any of that. Oh. Do you get that now? I mean, normally I should be able to kind of go and set up your studio, Joe. Don't ask us for this. I'm not asking you. All right? I'm just putting it out there that if you choose to kind of support this and all that, just remember, okay, that you are doing so because you want to. And to my own, to my regular donors and the rest, right? I was going to start this on Monday, but it doesn't really sound good to start it on Monday. So we're going to start it on Sunday. So, which is going to be in 2 days' time. So on Sunday, after a program like this, like I told you, so I'm going to put out the link for that support. And remember this. Now, I can even kind of say this, okay, also. Now, whatever you are giving that to me. The moment you give it, it becomes my money. Okay. And that's why I said I would prefer before you click any send to say send, just know that from that moment, that money becomes mine. Okay. And when it comes to accountability, this is different. The why it's different is because I believe that you are practically kind of like saving me from getting myself involved in some kind of a financial stress and burden. So that's what I see it as. The only proof I have to show is going to be when my studio is up. Okay. And that is the only responsibility I'm going to owe everyone, including those who are actually not, like there are so many of you that are never going to like donate. You would want to, but you just can't. And you will do everything to share it and tell everybody to please support this. I love this guy and I really, really want to. You know what I mean? So many times your own kindness is, you know what I mean? Like sometimes more than money. Okay. So I want to say, I mean, I kind of feel like saying this so that it won't be another 2 weeks or another 3 weeks. And Maiyegun will say something or cover something. And then the next thing, I regret sending down my £100 to support you. Regret yellow my pile. That's like me, as I am. I am not the type that is, what do you call it? That is in any way owes anybody loyalty. Do you know that? People like me, I don't sort of owe anyone. Not loyalty per se. I'm going to say I don't owe you explanations. I'm kind of the person that believes that I don't owe you any explanation for what I do. So think very well before you possibly support that deal. Because if you come around and you're like, hey, I know how much I donated for this studio. Baba Mashekpif. I keep saying that, and I have my reason for saying that. I want to save you from any kind of heartbreak. You don't need to join the crowd because there's a way we do it. And I'm going to show you on Sunday. It's going to be on Sunday now, not Monday. I'm going to sit down here, talk about a few things and all of that. Then I'm going to start my fundraiser. And I'm going to begin to tell everybody how much I have gotten, how much is in and all of that. And we're going to sit down here. Even if it is £100 that I actually get out of the £15,000 I'm going to raise. That, to me, is a grace. You know what? It's going to be about the intention, the good intention of you saying like, okay, I'm going to be part of that. So it is not about the thousands of pounds and all of that. I'm not really going after that. Sure you get. So I'm actually like going to see those who love Maiyegun enough, right, to go extra miles and then support him. Somebody said, he's using reverse psychology on us now. He's using the reverse psychology on you. Oh, he's trying to make you feel no, I'm not making you feel anything. I'm just speaking from the heart. Do you understand? Because I know I'm going to get what I want. Yeah, I'm very confident I'm going to get what I want. I just want you to kind of notice that, just to know that the intention is not how much I get or how much support I get from anybody. No. The real greatness is going to be how many of you genuinely will go that extra mile to be like, I'm going to kind of support him. And I've seen people go and say extra miles. This platform in 2023 alone, we raised over 30 to 40 million naira. Like if I have to use all the accounts, over 40 million naira to support different causes. These are people that just feel like we need to do this. If Maiyegun believes in it, then it must be good. And lives were touched. Of course, then your election happened and a lot of people just got pissed off like, fuck it, man. I'm not going to give anybody my money. Please let us put the resources together so that we can help all these Maiyegun, I don't feel like giving anybody my money in that place, Charade. Maiyegun, and I can tell you, I know. The Charade elections, and some of you were secretly hoping that people will get it right this time around. And you are ready to actually support them, to encourage them to stand up. They did try to. But we all saw what happened anyway. So yeah. Okay, the people didn't react the way they should, and you are upset. I know that. So, but despite all of that, MaiyegunsDiary Politico with Yoruba Union and all of you, the brethren in the Temple of Truth, you raised over 40 million that touched over 20,000 lives. Don't ever forget that. This platform, we did that in 2022, 2023 calendar year. This is 2024. I have no doubt that we will do greater things. But there's something I also want to add. And I keep telling myself that if we could pull the numbers we pulled and the lives we touched on MaiyegunsDiary Politico, the way we did in 2022, 2023, 2021, 2022, 2023, especially, imagine what we can actually achieve in supporting vulnerable people in Nigeria, when I actually have a better physical, active place that can even do more. Like this, that's what I tell myself, I can't imagine what I'm going to really achieve in that place when I finally move into that office. I probably can't believe what I am imagining that I'm going to achieve. So it's not going to be about me, because it's never always been about me. And I'm grateful to everybody who say, now we, they say, who are those who are, what do you call that? Who are sponsoring you? What was that statement again? Who are those who are financing you? Or who are those who are bankrolling you? And I said, just come on to MaiyegunsDiary Politico and sit with them when I am talking. So I've always been very kind of like, I always feel like I'm one of those lucky ones. Others are like, no, Maiyegun, you're hardworking, you worked for it and all of that, you deserved it. I was like, right, I earned it. So I'm going to be counting on you on Sunday. You're going to be watching your screen from £0 to 10 to 20 to 200 to 500 and on like that. And I hope that will be the case. I kind of love putting it in your mind and your consciousness like that, because it is very, very important. It is beyond saying, oh yeah, you've got all this fancy office with all this equipment, with all these computers, and with all of this. So, you know what I mean? This is where the production is happening. Wow, this is great. And all no, it's beyond that. Because you're also going to be able to actually say, how impactful have you been? Can we actually track the progress of your impact on these people? Yes, you'll be able to track that. And that's why we must make it happen. I'm going to see you some other time, okay? And until then, just kind of take it easy. And don't forget, before you leave tonight, remember, you can still like the broadcast, share it. And I promise you, I will take calls next time. Until then, good night.
Maiyegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò. MaiyegunDiary Maiyegun number one. Maiyegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò. MaiyegunDiary Maiyegun number one. Maiyegun ti dé o ọ̀rẹ́ ará ìlú. MaiyegunDiary Maiyegun number one. Lórí Facebook, lórí YouTube. MaiyegunDiary Maiyegun number one. Gbogbo bó ṣe ń lọ ni Maiyegun já wa sí. MaiyegunDiary Maiyegun number one. Àṣírí ọ̀jẹ̀lú kì í bò níbẹ̀ o. MaiyegunDiary Maiyegun. àní Maiyegun máa wí.
MaiyegunDiary na ibi number one.
ó sì tún ṣe eré wàá gbọ́ níbẹ̀ o.
MaiyegunDiary na ibi number one.
MaiyegunDiary diary Politico.
MaiyegunDiary na ibi number one.
Godfatherism kò sí lọ́rọ̀ Maiyegun.
MaiyegunDiary na ibi number one.
ẹ farabalẹ̀ sẹ́ o kẹgọ́rọ̀ lẹ́nu o.
MaiyegunDiary na ibi number one.
àní Maiyegun làwa mọ̀ tó dódòdó.
MaiyegunDiary na ibi number one.
àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Maiyegun ti dé. ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
lórí Facebook.
Maiyegun ti dé.
àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
lórí YouTube.
Maiyegun ti dé.
àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
bọ́ bàbá gbé wúrẹ́.
Maiyegun máa wí.
àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
ijó ìgbádìyẹ.
Maiyegun máa wí.
àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Presido bá rúfin o.
Maiyegun máa wí.
àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
kí gómìnà kówó jẹ.
Maiyegun máa wí.
àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
ọlọ́pàá tí ń darí bá.
Maiyegun máa wí.
àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
aṣòfin tí ń rúfin o.
Maiyegun máa wí.
àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
òpùrọ́ olóṣèlú.
Maiyegun máa wí.
àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Maiyegun ti dé. gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dèrò ní fi wọ́n níran o.
Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ òní fi wọ́n níran.
wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀ o Maiyegun ó sọ pé wọ́n ò bẹ́ẹ̀ wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀ Maiyegun ó sọ pé wọ́n ò bẹ́ẹ̀ oníkan ṣáàtì ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe fáwọn ará ìlú tó gbé wọn débẹ̀ o ayé.
Maiyegun ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ òní fi wọ́n níran.
kì máa yí ṣe eré ọ̀rọ̀ yìí kì í ṣe ẹ̀fẹ̀ kì máa yí ṣe eré ọ̀rọ̀ yìí kì í ṣe ẹ̀fẹ̀ ẹni bá ti lè lẹ́bọ̀ lẹ́rù o ọmọ bá dèrò kàṣà ìtú wọn síta.
Maiyegun ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ òní fi wọ́n níran.
tẹnitẹni ọmọ Maiyegun ọ̀rẹ́ ara ìlú mọ̀mọ́ ni mo fọlọ́hún sọ ẹ̀ bá kìlẹ̀ lóòótọ́ olódodo ìlú ọ̀tá ìlú mọ̀mọ́ ni ìwọ ṣá máa ń ṣọ́ra kò sì mọ́ bẹ̀rù bọ́tà ń lè rí bóníṣègùn lé káwọn mọ̀mọ́ fi ṣera wọn ni ó ti dẹrùn tí wọn ò gbọ́dọ̀ sì mọ́ bẹ̀. èèpo ọ̀gọ̀lọ́mọ bá dérò tàjẹ́ ò gbọ́dọ̀ jẹ́ ó ti dọba lórí àbínú ẹni kò sì mọ́ bùyà àìsíwọ̀lú ní ẹnìkẹ́ ìgbódì ẹyin lábàrá o ó kó ẹni tó bá dán o àkàmù. Maiyegun ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lúwẹ̀ súnra kì o ẹ̀yin bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dèrò òní fi wọ́n níran o.
Maiyegun ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lúwẹ̀ súnra kì. Maiyegun ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lúwẹ̀ súnra kì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dèrò òní fi wọ́n níran.